What's up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Martin and today I am taking a look at this Audi RSQ3. Now this is a new gen of Audi RSQ3. We've had the previous gen before, and if you haven't seen that video, go click right here and then come back and you can see all the differences with this newer generation. Now first of all, I want to thank Andy the Dawn, who owns this car and many other cars, and I want to thank him for letting us test his car and for always going with a nice spec. So this is the car his wife drives and takes their kids to school with, for which it's really suitable, and for like a long weekend away with the kids, stuff like that. So I'm going to tell you why today. So this is a glacier white Audi RSQ3, and this is the normal body style. You can also get it as a sportback with a more sloping roofline, but I actually prefer this. Now we have these Bridgestone winter tires still, but they are limited to 270 kilometers an hour. The car will go 280 kilometers an hour because it has the dynamic optional pack, and otherwise it will do 250. We have these steel brakes today. Carbon ceramics are an option for the front axle, not for the rear axle. And these are the optional 21-inch wheels. As standard, they come on 20-inch. Now I like this spec, the white with the black. So we have black wheels, white body, and all these black accents like the mirror caps, this little triangle right there, the window trim. Go follow Andy the Dawn on Instagram, by the way. All the logos, the exhaust, it's all been blacked out, and I really like the look of it. And now you also get this full-blown Audi RS exhaust on the RSQ3, which wasn't the case with the previous gen. So it's like they finally took this car seriously over at Audi Sport. The entire rear bumper is different than with a normal Q3, of course it is. Now we do have an MTM license plate holder, but it doesn't have any tuning. Now it's not only the rear bumper, it's also this like semi-wide body that's on here, these arches, that's all bespoke Audi RSQ3. The entire front bumper with that aggressive big grille, especially made for the Audi RSQ3, and it's also 10 millimeters lower than a normal Q3, and that also helps with the handling, of course. Now on the interior we have these Audi RS seats with a little cool red Alcantara side bolster right here. But they aren't really that supportive, so you tend to like fly around in the car when you go really fast, but maybe not do that with this RSQ3, because this is why you get this car. You just throw your kids' crap in the back, throw the kids in here, and throw yourself and your wife in here. Now we have a Audi RS steering wheel, but we don't have the flat bottom. We have a little bit of carbon fiber right there that actually looks really cool, and an Alcantara piece lying on top of that. If we start up the engine, you get that lovely 5-cylinder sound. And what I don't like is this gear lever. It's a bit cheap, I think. It's a bit too much base entry level Q3, and it should be the one from an Audi RS3, right? Now that engine, let's check it out, because the previous Audi RSQ3 still had the older 5-cylinder, so that's the one with the steel underblock. Now this is the latest version with the aluminium underblock, which has 400 horsepower and 480 Newton meters, 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds. And because the crankcase of this motor is now made from aluminium, it's 18 kilos lighter, which also improves the handling. So let's go and check what that actually means on the road. Start it up and let's just put it in drive and see what it's like you would if you would own this car. It's, you know, a very different approach when compared to the Audi RS3, you know. It's very similar in a technical sense, but in a more lifestyle, I hate the word, but I have to use it, in a more lifestyle approach, this is a lot different. So those are the sounds I want to hear when I drive an Audi RS. Little turbo whistles, 5-cylinder rumbles. It's stuff like that that makes it so special, and this is why you get this car. It's because it's not a 4-cylinder, and because it has character, it has certain little sounds that just make it special. Now this isn't even in sport mode, and it's still something to enjoy, which I really like. Now let's switch to RS mode. Now you always get these other dials, but if you go into the infotainment you can switch back to the good ones, the round ones, but you have to do that every time. You cannot get the round dials in Audi RS mode. I don't know why. First gear. Now that is such a nice sensation. Man, that's a lovely, lovely sound. And the performance is also really strong. It's not mind-blowing, but you're in an Audi Q3. That makes it so special. I mean, in an Audi RS3, you constantly expect to go fast, but the expectation level in an Audi Q3 is just entirely different. Okay, so let's do a draggy run. We have it right there. Turn off traction control completely. Go to sport mode for the GSG. Now bear in mind, we are on winter tires, so that will influence performance, I guess. Where is my draggy? Should have gone for a new sticker. That was 4.9 seconds. Now, for some reason, it really needs time to build up. It's not like with an Audi RS3 that it's super aggressive on launch, because I let off the brakes and it sort of hesitates. It doesn't really know what to do. It doesn't feel like it's really willing to go, and that's a bit odd. So let's give that one more try. Yeah, that's 5.2 seconds. I don't know why, but it's not performing like it should. Maybe it's because the ESP is a bit different than with an Audi RS3. It's an Audi Q3, and again, it just doesn't want a Q3 driver to spin its wheels, to have that sensation, to have that experience, because it's not very Q3 like, which I kind of get, this being a family car and it probably will have some children in it. So Audi, I guess, changed the ESP settings and it's always there. Even though it says it's not there, it's there. It is fast. Oh, a little turbo whistle right there. What a lovely noise. That's what you want to hear from your family rally car, because that's really the sensation I get from this car. I just feel like an Audi Q3 and an Audi Quattro have married, and this is their love child. Just with the kids in the back, enjoy a weekend away, and of course the trip to your destination. You can also bring the dog. There's lots of room, lots of head space. It just feels like a very pleasant family car. But this is for the dad to enjoy. That lovely drivetrain, and it really is something to enjoy. I mean, those little 5-cylinder turbo sounds, like that little whistle, the rumble. The speed is also really, really impressive. Just have a look at the 100 to 200 time. I mean, that's quite impressive. And of course it's busy today. As you can see, everybody's going to their vacation home, their holiday destination. But it just doesn't matter. It's a very pleasant car to be in, and when you have a little gap, you just floor it and you just have a lot of fun with the entire family. Now the suspension setup, it's very, very safe. I'm in RS1 mode right now, so I have everything in the most sporty setting, but it's still this big old dog that just moves around without getting unsettled. So that's according to the rally pedigree. Not too stiff suspension, but stability. And I really, really like that about this car. Now I currently own an M340i Touring BMW as something which has the same purpose, just hauling the family to places and for me to enjoy doing that. Now this is really, really nice, and I like how the gearbox just like holds it at 5, 6, 7,000 RPM, and you can really feel that you have full power when it does so. It's not as nervous as like an Audi RS3, which is very similar of course, but this really, it uses less gears and it's a lot more supple because of it. In the end, I have to say, I absolutely love this car. I didn't expect to love it, but I do. And that's because I have 2 kids and 2 dogs and a girlfriend. If I wouldn't have those things, I would not be liking this car, because you have to like visualize yourself and your situation with a car. Will this work for me? Will this be something to enjoy because of a certain goal it has to live up to, a certain function? And that's the great thing about this Audi RSQ3. Yeah, of course you can get an RS3 Sportback. It will be faster, it will be better in a technical sense, but when I get off the Autobahn and go refuel something, I don't want my daughter to be approached, she's 2 years old, like, wow, what's up with that RS3, man? You got any tune? No, I don't want that. I want it to be a friendly family car that can also provide all the fun I want from a car on the Autobahn and elsewhere. So, hope you enjoyed this review. Go subscribe by clicking the big button right here. Go check out this review or go check out this playlist. Bye guys!